we have something very special to share with you today. We have the brand new EcoFlow Delta Pro version 3. This is a staple on the homestead. I have 3 of these that we use almost daily. This is the entry point for being energy independent. It really is where I would start. Let's pull it out and see how it stacks up compared to the Gen 2 version. Here is the Gen 2. This is one of 3 of the EcoFlow Delta Pros that I have. This is a complete power solution for home or away. Campers, camping, emergencies, anything. It's become a real staple around the place. Let's see how they compare. With the 2 Delta Pros side by side, they're very similar. Gen 2, the new Gen 3. I'm just now looking at this. I've had it for a while, but it's been in the box and I'm kind of discovering it at the same time. The top 3 differences, the things that really stick out to me, they're huge. First off, right here, not to mention that the doors are better. We don't have those flaps anymore that were hard to deal with, that you couldn't put up against a wall and open. Now we have these sliding doors, which kind of keep stored in the housing, which is nice. This, gentlemen, is an RV hookup. This is your 30 amp 120. You can plug your camper or your van in. This is what's equipped on mine, what's going to be equipped on almost everything in the US. You've got a dedicated plug, which is super, super nice. That's one thing that's new. The other is we've got 240 now, and that is a huge, huge thing. 240 volts in one unit. We did not have that before. To get that before, we had to have 2 of these and then hook them together with an adapter. Now you've got a 30 amp 240 and a 240 there, as well as your 110s. I think these are 20 amp USB-Cs, and those right there are the main things. Also, it's bigger, more capacity, over 4,000 kW, where I believe the Delta 3 was 3,600, so you're gonna have a little bit more power. And you know, I'd say that the styling is better. It's just overall, it's gonna be quieter, it's more refined, and just less, I don't know, just less things you don't need. Let's take a look at the back. So we've got our solar in, we've got a regular 110 if we wanna plug that in, and then we have the expansion ports, so we can add this. We can make this by adding multiple units up to 12 kW, and that's including 240 power, and then the interface with the smart panel, so you can power your house with this as well. Compared to the old one, you know, very similar, just better latches, more refined, and certainly better fit and finish. And the styling, I gotta comment on that, the styling is better. And it is noticeably bigger. You can definitely see side by side, it's got a little bit more mass to it, but more capacity as well. Well, I'll tell you, it is more important now to have energy independence, at least have an ability somehow that in the event of a natural disaster or a power grid failure, that you're not completely left in the lurch, that you can charge the essential things that you need. The problem with gas generators, now there's a place and a time for everything. I have both. I have 4 gas generators, everything from 2,000 up to 1,600 kW. But there's also a place for these. I'll tell you, I no longer go camping anymore. I will not take my family to a busy campground or a national park, for the very reason I'm sick of the noise pollution. People running generators, people don't have respect for other folks that are trying to have some peace and quiet. And this gives you all of the benefits of that without the downside of all of that noise and having just to run the thing constantly when you need power. Not to mention how ridiculous it is getting the cost of power on the grid. We're building a cabin right now, just a small cabin, 400 square feet, and we have to connect it to the grid. Just to connect to the grid, when everything's said and done, we're going to be probably in excess of $20,000, setting a transformer, everything that comes along with that. And I've heard even worse stories than that. God help you if you have a long driveway and they've got to bring a couple hundred feet of cable in, you could be looking at $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 to bring traditional power in. You know, that's just not an option for us, for a lot of people anymore. We need power, and we need a solution that's independent of all of that exorbitant expense. This technology is very exciting. I think it's a very exciting time to be alive. I grew up working in the trades, working construction, where I went to the same shop every day. Now I'm a content creator. A lot of you have jobs where you have flexibility. With a power system that's renewable with the sun by using solar, and you add a Starlink to that, now the whole world is your office. You can work and live wherever you want to. Now, if I were gonna need to run internet 24/7 for 2 days, I would have to, where's my zipper? I would have to bring about 5 gallons a can, a 5-gallon jerry can of fuel to keep that running. and I'm gonna have the generator running constantly the whole time. Once that generator shut off, it's not producing power anymore. So you gotta listen to it. Now, we can add a 400 watt portable solar panel and we can stay out pretty much indefinitely. Now this is gonna be far from optimized. I'm just gonna lay it down here flat in the sun. It's late morning. Standard connections, nothing exotic, very simple. Let's plug it in and see what we have. We've got our simple solar connection here. That is it. That's all you do. We are now charging. This is just so cool. I never can get over it. We are producing more power for free with that unoptimized. I mean, it's not even pointing at the sun. It's just laying flat on the ground and at the 45th parallel, which is not ideal for solar. And we're producing 251 watts. We're only using 30. This is telling us is that in 4.1 hours, this whole thing will be topped off. And if you can plug this into a wall outlet and use the fast charging, you can bring this to 80% in 50 minutes. That's under an hour. So a great system. I don't know what more I can say that I already have. I think the proof is in the eating and the pudding, and the fact that we use them regularly. I can speak from authority on this, that this is a good company and this is a good product, and this is something that is going to change your life and something you should have. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. We'll see you all on the next video.